Dave from GetKombucha.com. You know, for over 8 years now, I've done hundreds of videos on kombucha, from kombucha super duper techniques on fermentation, breaking down every single intricate detail. I'm kind of a kombucha tea dork. So I thought, why not for a change, make a simple, step-by-step, easy guide from beginning to end on how to make kombucha tea at home. So while I finish my stroll down Venice Beach, by the time I'm done, you'll be making great tasting kombucha tea. Enjoy. Okay guys, so first let's go over all the ingredients you'll need to make kombucha tea. And you're gonna find it's like making lemonade at home. It's really simple, just a few ingredients, namely 3. Okay, so the first one is some type of tea to make your sweet tea. Things to be mindful of when you're selecting the type of tea to use to make kombucha. Well, first and foremost, the quality of the type of ingredients you begin with will ultimately result in the quality of kombucha tea you end up with. However, in a pinch, that good old-fashioned, 300 tea bags for $1.99 that you got at your supermarket like 7 years ago that sits in the back cupboard of your house or apartment or RV trailer home, I'm not judging, that can be used. So just keep that in mind, that in a pinch, if you want to get going, use that. I would suggest using a more quality tea, like our whole leaf tea. And what I found through the years, 8 years of doing this, a blend of black and green teas tend to offer the best balance of flavor and from a benefit profile. If you want to experiment with flavor teas, do so at your own risk. Some of these flavor teas are flavored in such a way that they could be using some harsh flavor chemicals, and even the ones that are completely pure, the essential acids, things like peppermint and things like lavender, they are great when used in small quantities. So for this recipe though, we're going to be using a blend of straight black and green tea, our whole leaf kombucha tea blend. But like I said, in a pinch, any good old regular orange pico works fine. The next ingredient, I mentioned a sweet tea blend. Well, to make it sweet is our sugar. Look, the recipe does call for a decent amount of sugar, but what you need to know is that the sugar is for your kombucha tea, not for you. What happens is during the fermentation process, the sugar, at least most of it, gets converted into those healthy organic acids, remaining a very small, negligible amount of sugar, about 1/5, even 1/8 the amount of the typical soda. The other thing to keep in mind is we do recommend using an evaporated cane juice sugar, but in a pinch, good old-fashioned white sugar that you have around the house, if you want to start getting going, you could use. What you can't use is something like Sweet and Low or a sugar alternative chemical substitute, because we need real sugar. This is a real living culture that needs real sugar to ferment. The third thing is a kombucha culture with kombucha starter tea. So if you have an awesome, cool neighbor that's already making kombucha tea at home, knock on their door and ask to borrow or have a kombucha culture from them. If that's not the case, I invite you to go to GetKombucha.com and follow the link down below in this video to pick up your own kombucha culture. One of the nice things about our cultures is that they're already packed in its premium, already living kombucha starter tea, which you'll need to make the recipe. And our cultures are huge. They're non-dehydrated, ready to rock and roll the minute they arrive at your doorstep. But in a pinch, if you don't have kombucha starter tea packed with your culture, you can go to the store and pick up a bottle of kombucha tea. Just look for the raw, original brands, not the pasteurized brand, because when you pasteurize something, you're kind of getting rid of the living things that are going to be working to ferment this stuff. And that's it. Great. Now let's discuss all the equipment you'll need to make kombucha tea. First up is a brewing container. For our recipe, we're going to be using a 1-gallon glass jar. We also have gloves, but if you don't have them, no problem. Just make sure your hands are properly cleaned and properly rinsed off. We have a breathable cover and a fastener. In a pinch, if you don't have a muslin cover cloth, good old-fashioned paper towel works as well. A measuring cup and a measuring teaspoon. Something to stir your tea. If you're using a premium whole leaf tea blend, something to put that loose leaf tea in. And finally, something to heat your water up with. So there you have it, everything you need to make kombucha, all the ingredients and equipment. Now continue on to the next video where we take you step by step on the actual process. This is Dave from GetKombucha.com saying happy brewing.